now.
Alright, let's talk about building the bar, alright? We're going to go over some really important parts on how you should actually set your bar up. At this particular bar here, what we've done is a 2x4 bar die, alright? It's a dual bar die. The reason that we do the dual bar die, for one of the most critical things, is to help your skilled trades out. And your skilled trades are going to be your electricians and your plumbers, and what you do is you create a channel in here for them to really work with. You can see how they've run their cables in and tucked them behind this, and for the plumber, he's actually gone down the center with all of his plumbing and pipes that he needs for sinks, for his hot and cold water. It really makes it easy for those guys to work, alright? Another thing is if you take a look at the top, we're able to actually attach our bar top, and it doesn't matter what kind of bar top you're working with. You're able to attach your bar top on top of there, and it's going to be a lot more sturdy than a single bar die, alright? Bar die that we're going to use for this particular unit is going to be a glue lamp beam, and that's meant to hold up houses. They actually span it all the way across a room, and it holds up a roof. For us here, we really enjoy working with that because it's about $25 to $30 a linear foot, so it's very cost effective. And no matter how you want to surface it, you can sand it, you can stain it, you can urethane it. There's lots of things that you can do with the top, and it'll never go bad, all right? Let's take a look at a couple things that we have to do with the electrical stuff. Number one, since we're putting lights on the front of the bar, underneath the bar, we actually use a conduit piece to run through our electrical cable for the bar on the other side, so we can actually do our bar lighting. We actually plug into this outlet right here, and you got your chase onto the other side. One of the things we do have to have is a GFI breaker for all the bars, for all of the breakers behind the bar, and this is in case water splashes up on it, it'll trip the breakers so nobody gets shocked, okay? Next thing we're going to look at is our flooring for the plumbing. For this particular bar, what we chose to use is, here's a couple samples of VCT tile. What we're going to do is we're going to lay the VCT tile down over the OSB board. Once we attach it to the OSB board, we're going to come back and we'll seal the floor up. Then on top of this, we'll use our bar mats, and this is going to make it really easy to clean. You see we picked the gray here. It's always good to use a gray color. Now when we come over to the edges, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the VCT tile up 1 inch, and then we're going to silicone it. The reason we're going to come up 1 inch for this is that if the bar floods for any reason, we don't want the water to get underneath the bar, because it'll actually end up warping the bar dies, and it'll start cracking your tops, or it'll crack the front, whatever you got in the bar. It's a disaster. So you want to make sure that no water can get underneath the bar die or underneath your floor, because it'll start to lift up your flooring. You see we have the sinks that are set in here. I actually have 2 of them. In this particular bar, we've got 2 floor sinks. The reason for 2 floor sinks is it helps all of the condensation lines to run into these floor sinks. We got our sinks, we got a lot of stuff that's got to run into these, and it's just a lot easier to later on, if you're going to reposition some items, if you're going to add some items or change anything, it's easier to put back in, dump things and get your water drains run into these than into a direct connect pipe. Alright? We got 3 sinks that are actually going to be set up here. 1 hand sink that's specified for the health department at the very beginning. Then I'm going to have a dump sink here and a dump sink at the end. These are very important and should be on the right side of your ice wells. Alright, once we actually get the equipment in here, we'll actually go over that a little bit more in detail.